But the topic of tariffs, right? Because I don't understand why that conversation, when you talk about it amongst the black community, why that's not mentioned from the Democratic Party enough. Maybe I haven't heard it enough. But regardless, tariffs, right? There are some real dangers that can do harm to low-income families because those tariffs will get passed down to customers, which will then raise prices, right? You have tariffs and studies and committees, one of which saying, hey, $15 trillion added to the deficit over 10 years if certain tariffs, get passed. I'm watching Donald Trump as he's talking to the Economic Club of Chicago, and he's saying, well, I'm just going to use them as tactics, as trade pieces, right? But that tariffs thing, why isn't the Democratic Party kind of talking more about that and how it can, potentially, according to the Peterson Institute, International Economics Institute, they're saying $1,700 added to the middle class family in taxes if certain tariffs get passed, right? Why aren't people talking about that more? And, we seem to maybe magnify certain other issues, but why aren't the tariffs being talked about?
No, they should. And I think she did mention that in the interview with Charlemagne yesterday. But I think that's a very potent line of attack. I already told you I didn't have a chance to see the full interview, but the one clip that I did see was where the journalist at the Economic Club was trying to hold Mr. Trump accountable on this issue. And it's clear that he doesn't really have a good basis of understanding of the macroeconomy, right? Or he does, and he pretends that he doesn't. But yeah, tariffs are regressive taxes. They need to open that space up more. One thing that VP Harris did yesterday that I was thrilled to listen to is she finally, broke the lie that, Donald Trump gave everyone stimulus checks.
Yeah.
Right. And pointed out
that was part of the humor. That was good. That was
that the Republican Party, everyone voted against it. He did sign it to his credit, but the Democrats, they need to be claiming credit for that policy, and they need to be talking about the messaging I think is very effective for her is this kind of messaging that Donald Trump does not care about you, and she cares about you, right? And I think that's great. But again, VP Harris is running a great campaign. She cannot do this by herself. So if the black community wants VP Harris, those that are highly mobilized and recognize, the situation, we've got to pick up some of the slack for her. Because you're right, talking about reparations, that can make it harder for her. They can run some ads about that. So we've got to be ready to respond. We've never had to do that in black politics because we've never had such a discerning set of voters as we now have with the millennial and Gen Z cohorts.
Yeah.
And that's been the challenge for everybody to figure out.